everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
Stunning ruling in Collin County as Karmelo Anthony seeks a new trial. The judge who presided over Anthony's June murder trial has been removed from any new hearings related to just this case. So here's what happened. Presiding Judge Sid Harrell, brought in from Bexar County, rendered this major ruling this morning, removing Judge John Roach from presiding over tomorrow's very important motion for a new trial. This victory met with cheers inside and outside the Collin County Courthouse. 19-year-old Anthony appearing in court today in a green jumpsuit, sporting a thin mustache and goatee, appearing even thinner than we saw him before. His parents and supporters filling the courtroom and audibly breathing a sigh of relief at this ruling. I saw one activist even making a clapping motion. Judge Harrell agreeing with Anthony's defense attorney, Russell Wilson, that to an outside person who watched an interview and read Roach's comments made 2 days after the trial, where he defended the jury's verdict, saying that they got it right, and his decisions to limit access to the courtroom, issues that are going to be vital and argued tomorrow, that an ordinary reasonable person would be concerned about the judge's impartiality moving forward in this case. It is important to note the judge said his ruling has nothing to do with whether Anthony should or should not receive a new trial, only agreeing that to this outside person, they would have a concern about Roach's impartiality, therefore granting this recusal. So who will preside over tomorrow's motion for a new hearing? That is not yet known. The administrative judge for this region will assign the judge at some point today.
Judge Sid Harrell, the visiting judge, said himself when he made this ruling, this was far from a typical murder trial. The hearing lasted only an hour. The only evidence presented was 18 minutes of a raw interview that Judge John Roach did with a media outlet 2 days after the verdict in June. The defense tried to use that interview to show that the judge was biased by saying he agreed with the jury and other things, and in the end, the visiting judge agreed and granted the recusal.
I think it is surprising. I think most observers probably thought that that was not going to happen, that Roach didn't do anything outside the bounds of his judicial canons or judicial responsibilities. And the judge here in the case obviously disagreed. So now there's a new judge that will be appointed, and the hearing for motion for new trial goes on. This doesn't speak to whether or not the motion for new trial will be granted or not. This just speaks to who the judge will be that will be presiding over that hearing.
The evidence that the judge heard today was based on something that happened 2 days after the trial when Judge John Roach gave an interview. So we're going to be hearing completely new evidence in this motion for a new trial tomorrow. The administrative judge over North Texas, Ray Wheelis, will announce who that judge will preside, who will preside over that hearing, and the defense, the appeals attorneys, will be arguing for a new trial based on a whole new set of reasons.
We have a breaking update regarding Karmelo Anthony, who is pushing for a new trial. We've learned the judge who oversaw the original trial has been removed from the next step. A San Antonio judge removed Collin County Judge John Roach from Thursday's hearing to decide if Karmelo Anthony will get a new trial. So this summer in June, a jury found Karmelo Anthony guilty of stabbing and killing 17-year-old Austin Metcalf at a Frisco track meet in 2025. Now, Anthony was sentenced to 35 years in prison. He has continued to say that he was acting in self-defense. Karmelo Anthony's new defense team argued that the original judge, John Roach, limited public access during the June trial and later gave an interview where he said the jury got it right, which they believe shows bias. Now, our reporters are at the Collin County Courthouse, and they tell us that after the ruling to remove Judge Roach, people were cheering outside the courtroom. Now, our reporter Maria Guerrero is there. Cameras are not allowed in the courtroom, but she has a live blog on our website, NBCDFW.com. You can read specific details there.
Man, what it do, man? It's your boy PJ. Today we back with another lit video, back at the confessional, and yes, we're staying lit, big dog. Shout out to my everyday people who rock with me every day. Now, this is a big move for what's to come. Everybody gets the chance to appeal their judgment. Now, will there be a overturn? I don't see there being an overturn. Okay, if he gets granted a new trial, which I presume he would be, considering the circumstances and the extensive, listen, a a um a cop in Texas, a cop walked into the wrong apartment and shot a man dead because she believed that the guy broke into her apartment. But in fact, she was in the wrong apartment. She got 10 years in prison for taking a life. Okay? Now, these are not the same situations. But understand, there was no intent on killing Austin Metcalf. There was no initial intent. He did not go. That's just like the same thing with the cop. She did not go to his house with the intent to kill him. She walked into the wrong apartment and killed him because she thought he was breaking in. It doesn't make it right, doesn't make it wrong, doesn't make it anything. She still got 10 years in prison for taking a person's life. Because why? Because she thought her life was in danger. Was her life in danger? Nope. Did she know her life was in danger? Nope. So, and she's a person of the law who should show more restraint. But what she thought it was, it's a free kill. Oh, you in my house? Pow, pow, pow. That'll teach you. Come in my house. It was a free kill. Problem was, it wasn't her house. Wasn't her house. Now you got to regroup. Like, oh, what did I do? This isn't my house. This isn't my furniture. This isn't my ice cream. This isn't my bed. Oh no. So now she calls the proper authorities. I just shot a man. He's dying on the floor. He's like, you get out my apartment. He's still telling her to get out his apartment. She gets 10 years. Karmelo Anthony goes to an opposing tent. One he has friends in. One he knows that I don't know if he knows that the guys are bullies. I don't know. I've heard of the guys being bullies. I know they just came off of a suspension, and I think the people calling him Austin and his brother bullies were people who had knowledge of them prior to. So, in all actuality, I think that what happened to Karmelo was I wouldn't say it's a tragedy. It was just it's a circumstantial thing. Like, everybody carries a little pocket knife. We did. When I was in school, the country boys, you call it country boys. They wouldn't call themselves country boys, but they was country. They wore boots to school every day. And like Wrangler jeans and like their flannel shirts and stuff like that, buttoned all the way up, and they was hella tight. They wore fishing hooks on their hats. So that's considered a weapon, right? Everybody had pocket knives. Back in the day, everybody had pocket knives. I don't know what these kids use now, but I mean, honestly, everybody had a little bitty pocket knife too. The little pocket knife you could buy for $2.99 or $1.99, even 99 cents at the convenience store. It had little scissors on it, and it came with a corkscrew. It had a knife, a corkscrew, and little scissors. Everybody had those. They were little. That's what he got killed with. So I don't know. It's a crazy situation, We'll see what happens with the new judge. We'll see if he gets granted a new trial. We'll see if anything changes. Everyday people, man, let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section. Why don't you ever come on here and talk about black communities and black on black crimes, how abortion clinics are in the black communities and not white liberal communities? You're so biased. Bro, why do I need to talk about why do I need to talk about that? Do you not see black on black? Bro, I don't like black on black crime. Like, literally, I talk about it all the time. You're talking to a person that was raised in the hood, brother. Like, have you seen black on black crime? That's what, have you seen black on black crime? I think if you've seen enough black on black crime, that's something I don't want to talk about. Why would I talk about it? That makes absolutely no sense. I'm gonna get on here and degrade black people for shit that I can't control. That makes no sense. Do you get on your platform and talk about white on white crime? Would that make sense? And we've already proven the fact that white people commit more crimes in America than black people. But not per capita or whatever. That doesn't make any sense. I don't care per capita. I'm not committing a crime, so I'm not finna talk about committing crimes. If you watch my channel, I talk about story times with ratchet shit. If you want to watch the political stuff, please go to my political channel, Everyday PJ. If you want to watch other stuff, you want to watch reactions, go to Dating in My City. Be like, hit the links in the comment section. I mean, not the comment section, in the description, and it'll show you everything I talk about. I talk about everything. But if I'm gonna sit up here and just talk about black people doing black shit, man, bro, that was my life growing up. I grew up black. That's not something new. It's new to y'all because y'all don't see it. So you want me to talk about it? What do you want me to say? Oh my God, this is disgusting. How these blacks just walk around and they fight all the time and all this. Bro, I don't want to talk about that. I could care less. Matter of fact, let's talk about it. I'll give you 5 minutes. I was on Facebook the other day. I seen two grown ass women fighting outside of a gas station in Oklahoma City after the club, my age. And I was like, you got kids at home. What's your damn problem? Did I put that? I didn't comment it. I didn't comment on the video. I didn't share the video. I didn't like the video. I did nothing about the video. I just moved the fuck on because that ain't got nothing to do with me. And I don't promote that dumb shit. I will never promote that dumb shit. And that's just not me. I don't care about what shit go on in communities. Because one, I'm a educated black man. I'm raising 4 daughters. And one is excelling in her sport. I got a little baby and I got a house to take care of. So that's why I go live every night so I can record to show y'all black people don't sit around and do nothing. We're not lazy, bro. I got a good job. I got benefits and I got 3 businesses, and I got multiple YouTube channels that I drop videos on every day. So make sure you follow every one of my YouTube channels. So you don't send another black man to the hood to be doing hood shit. If that's the answer you wanted, that's the answer you gonna get. I don't care about no hood shit. That's it. You gonna talk about the black on black crime? No. What is black on black crime? You mean I had a problem with this person and I shot his ass? You know how many black men have a problem with their wives and they smack them? You know how many white men have a problem with their woman and their children and they kill the whole family? Should we talk about that? I don't have time to talk about that. If it come up in conversation, I might talk about it. But other than that, I'm not going to go out of my way to talk. I'm trying to learn First Amendment and Second Amendment rights so I could be better at learning, or be better at reacting to these videos about First and Second Amendment rights. I'd rather do that than to worry about black on black crime, somebody smacking a mama, somebody shooting up the neighborhood that they don't even own, one house on the block. Why would I focus on that? Why would I focus on fraud in Minneapolis? I'm in Oklahoma. We got a bunch of wild stuff going on here. That's why I didn't know. That's why I didn't know what was going on in Minneapolis. But what I did know is every time they put that fraud on camera, it was a Somalian. It wasn't that white woman. And that's what I showed. I said that, damn, that's crazy. They didn't show her because they knew that this was the real tragedy. See, y'all just be worried about the wrong stuff sometimes. But come back though. I ain't got no problem with it. If you want to challenge me about how I feel about the black community, I think the black community is great. But you probably wouldn't understand that if you're not in the black community. If you're looking from what you see on social media, none of the black shit I do in life happens. One of my good friends in Oklahoma, one of the biggest car YouTubers in Oklahoma, Lucky Wheels and Deals, he ain't on no hood shit. He don't have no drama. He don't have none of that going on. He's a proud black man. So I don't know what y'all be talking about when y'all be talking about this stuff. What about black on black crime? I could support I got hella black people I support daily. So I don't worry about black on black crime. I told y'all about my crack dealing story earlier. You think I'm proud of that? You think I want to go back and be like, man, I miss selling crack? No, fool, that was a detriment to our community. But you got to think about who was going before, who was coming up before us that taught us that stuff. And you got to think about what happened before that taught them that stuff. And then when you learn the system, when y'all say there's no systematic racism, there's no, there's a lot of stuff that, the white man is trying to keep the black man down. I didn't say they try to keep the black man down, but they sure didn't give us a foot up. But I never complained because you know what? I went to the University of Oklahoma out of prison. So I don't want to hear no excuses about, you can't, black people don't do this, black people don't do this, man. Get y'all life together. Because what I did, you probably can't do or you will never do. And I've been all around the world doing things that you could never do. I could tell you the weather. I could drive an 18-wheeler. I do open heart surgery if you teach me. But that's me. So understand, we here for good, wholesome fun, and also talk about the real stuff in the community. But I lived a real life, and I'm gonna tell y'all, just join in with me. You don't have to like it, you don't have to love it, but what you will hear is some real shit. I will not lie to you. I will not push my agendas on you. If you don't like that I'm a Democrat, I don't care. I don't care if you're a Republican. If you're a Republican, I don't give a shit. It don't help me none. I live in a Republican state. It don't help. I don't care. All I'm gonna just tell you is like, hey, I live in a Republican state. We the worst at education. It ain't got nothing to do with Democrats or Republicans. It got to do with the people, everybody in this state. It's been a Republican state. We still the worst in education. We still the third fattest state in America. Third state for obesity. We can't blame that on Democrats and Republicans. It's just you fat, good fed, good cooking ass people. It's just some good people, and they like to eat. That's all it is. It ain't got shit to do with Democrats and Republicans. It's just some fat in Oklahoma. That's it. So I don't know what you want me to tell you. I can. It ain't. Somebody said. Should a person go to prison for selling drugs and the person dies? Hell, when y'all gonna lock up pharmaceutical companies? When you gonna lock up big tobacco companies? You not. So if you want to talk about the biggest crimes, you talk about the people who inject the antibiotics into goddamn chicken that got your chickens big as the goddamn, big as my arm. You got a chicken wing this goddamn big. Come on now, looking like an ostrich arm, and it's just a chicken. Those are the real people you need to be looking. What's up with the American on American crime? Think about that. We all Americans. American on American crime. That should be the next story. All right, everyday people, thank y'all that was my TED Talk.